Hello. Well, today we're going to go over one of the biggest misconceptions that I know of when it comes to changing your life, manifesting a better life. It's such a huge thing and it holds so many of you back. And after watching this video, hopefully it will not hold you back nearly as much or at all. Quite possible that is the case. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Tim. I simplify manifestation concepts and how to manifest a better life better than just about anybody on YouTube. I've written multiple books about it, worked with hundreds of clients. I love talking about this stuff. I love helping people. And something that is going to help you, the subject of this video, is understanding that what you see in terms of how these ideas are marketed to you when it comes to, changing your mindset, becoming a new person, manifesting a new reality, as they say. The way it's shown to you is in this very glitzy, starry way a lot of the time. And it's very easy to have the interpretation of it be that, oh, wow, this is a really cool thing. This is something that definitely works. There's all this proof I'm seeing of people having it work in their lives. This is going to be simple. This is so much easier than having a standard job, working hard for something, or putting in the work to make my love life better or my health better. I'm simply going to manifest it using these proven systems that all these people are talking about on YouTube and Instagram or what have you, or so many of these books that are popular. They say just do this simple system and your life will change. And you get into this because it seems so exciting, right? I have control of my mind and I'm going to do it. And look, all these people are commenting. They're doing it too. This is amazing. And then guess what happens? None of that shit works the way you thought it would. Ah! Or if you're lucky, quote unquote, or perhaps unlucky, it does work once or twice and you get even more excited. And then a year from now, you realize it hasn't worked again. And this video is here to tell you that you want to get off of that train. You want to get off of that change your life overnight in 3 weeks, 3 months train that is so much of this manifest a better life. Change your mindset and everything's going to magically appear in front of you differently. Let me say this politely. It's all a bunch of garbage for the most part. That's not how this stuff really works long term in our lives. These ideas, these fascinating ideas about how by changing how we look at the world, changing our focus and perspective, how we work with our imagination, how we can relax more into feeling okay in the present moment to see our life change over time. This shit ain't easy to apply like all these folks say it is. It's not. And very likely, something holding you back is the belief that all these other people, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of people are taking in this manifesting information and applying it into their lives successfully. And this video is here to tell you quite simply, no, they fucking are not. No, they fucking are not. The truth is that, relatively speaking, very few people are actually integrating these ideas into their life in a way that's fulfilling and successful long term. And even many of the people that are integrating them in to their life successfully are only doing it in certain avenues of their life. For instance, I think speaking about this last video, I think if you want to learn about some very good approaches to manifesting improvements in your life, especially in terms of like finances, There's a lot of entrepreneurial people, business mindset people who get into that business mindset stuff who are then able to make a lot more money than they were before. But guess what? Those same people often struggle with their personal life, with their relationships with their partner, or let alone with their kids, if they have kids, because they're so consumed by the business. Or they might struggle with their health because they don't, take proper care of their body because they're so consumed by the business. And those people, who are still relatively very fucking rare, those people are the success stories. Most folks just don't have much success with this stuff in general. Or, as I said, they have success with one aspect of it, but not with like everything. Not with health, wealth, and relationships, not with all three. And something holding you back, I'm sure, pretty much, at least a little bit, if not a lot, is that you still have this sneaky belief that a lot of people are having success with this stuff and that you are not, and that there's something wrong with you, that you are a failure. You basically have an inferiority complex. Because you're like, oh, this random person that I don't actually know said on a YouTube comment that they're having all this success. They said it's easy. Why isn't it easy for me? Or this insane online Reddit cult says how easy this thing is. And even though I don't know who any of these fucking people are, and most of them are fucking teenagers typing shit in their basement, they say it's easy. It must be easy. I'm doing it wrong. There's something wrong with me. Why can't I get it? Everybody can manifest except for me. Give me a fucking break, baby. No. No one has fucking success with this shit for the most part. And those who do usually don't talk about it on social media. To find genuine people talking about this stuff online, you have to look hard for it usually, or you have to read between the lines. They're not the people who are selling you overnight success. They're the people who are talking to you about really changing your mindset by taking accountability for yourself, taking accountability for how you think, accepting your failures, moving through your quote-unquote failures, and having those failures spur you on to success. Learning to love yourself and understand why you feel things like fear or shame or inadequacy or inferiority. Learning to move through those things so they don't keep on happening to you in the same way. And growing, evolving. Becoming, from a practical viewpoint, better and better version of yourself. Meaning more and more of the person that you aspire to be, you become. There are not many people talking about this on YouTube. And there are not many people, relatively speaking, having success. Now, some are. There's millions of people watching content about manifestation and self-improvement and easy ways to change your life and, make money quickly or improve your health quickly or get your relationships all right quickly or whatever. But talk is cheap. What's important is walking the walk. Different thing altogether. Read some of my books. We talk all about walking the walk. I try to live my life walking the walk and talking while walking or sitting in my car in this instance and many other instances. But does what I look like, what I'm talking about, seem like what you usually see, the glitzy marketing? No. But some of you know that what I'm saying is true. And those are the only people I'm interested in reaching. I got into these ideas over a decade ago. And they helped me create the life I want in so many ways. A life where I have a job I love. Where my health is good. Where, probably most importantly, I have a family life and, kids, wife that I love, that I get to be around with all the time. I haven't had a normal job since I got into these ideas, or anything close to normal. I can work 10 to 20 hours a week usually. I often work more than that now because I want to. My wife works like 20 hours a week. I have more time with my kids each day than a lot of like hustle and grind entrepreneurs have in a week with their kid in terms of quality time. Does this sound glitzy, glamorous? No, this is fucking self-work. This is doing the work. And you can do it. So you might have this inferiority complex that, oh, all these people are doing it. I can't do it. There's something wrong with me. No, fucking no. This is the truth. No one's fucking doing it. To paraphrase Zig Ziglar, there's room at the top. The longer you get into this shit, the more you realize no one's doing the fucking work. And those that are walking the walk, not talking about it in some bullshit, I'm going to sell you a fucking overnight success, horse shit. No one's doing it. You can do it. No one's doing it. You can do it. Let me give you an example. This is one reason I'm making this video, because it really hit home for me last week. I usually work with clients that are invested, and I like to work with people long term, not just once or twice. But I haven't offered a lower cost type of coaching experience with me in quite a while. And I was like, you know what? There's new people, watching my videos. There's new people on my email list. It's fun to work with a group that might be interested, that are serious about these ideas. Let me offer a extremely low cost mastermind where people get to meet with me for a month in a small group once a week, and they get one private call with me for $199. It's the lowest price I could think of to offer this without it feeling completely like way too low. I was like $199 for people who get into this group, and maybe we'll do it for a couple months if it's good, but we'll at least do it for a month. Let's see. Let's see what happens. And, I've got a pretty big email list. I make videos. People watch my videos. You know how many people reached out right away when I started offering this? And were like, I'm definitely in. I'm doing this. Zero. Watch the video from last week. I'll link above to it, where I talk about this program that I wanted to run. It's easier for me to have someone pay me $1,000 or $2,000 than it is for me to have someone pay me $200. Because the people who won't pay me $200, most people watching this video, are not fucking serious about changing their life in this way. They're watching this shit for entertainment. They think, oh, I'm going to do this after a while, I'm going to just start to understand. You're never going to understand until you fucking do something about it. Do something about it. Walk the walk. Don't talk the talk. Walking the walk means doing shit, taking action imaginatively, mentally with your mind, and physically with what you're doing in the 3D every day. Doing shit. And I got to tell you, I was stunned when there was no initial immediate response, when not a single person reached out right away and was like, I want to do this. And then people come out of the woodwork and say, oh, I'm interested. But people are asking too many questions. I offered a thing for a couple of days. People are asking too many questions for a fucking no-brainer. I take that offer in a second when I have an opportunity to work with someone offering something like that. People weren't doing that. But there's room at the top, guys. If 5 or 6 of you last week had just not been like everybody else and been like, oh yeah, Tim, I definitely want to do this, we would be doing this group. No one fucking stepped up to the plate. There's a story. There's so many stories like this. There's a good story, an autobiography of a yogi, Yogananda's book, about Yogananda meeting his guru, his real guru, Sri Yukiswar. I can never say it. You guys know who I'm talking about if you've read the book. And he meets him in this very mystical, sensationalistic way. It's a great book, very sensationalistic, but a great book. And the guru starts crying, basically, and Yogananda is basically like, a little bit like, what's going on? It's this very dramatic moment in his retelling of the encounter. But basically his guru is like, I've been waiting for you my whole life. Like, where were you? And, Yogananda's got a lot of stories in that book about how these other saints and stuff and where he lived would always let him come in, even though he was young. And they're like, why, no one's supposed to be permitted here, but they let you come in. And, the saints are always like, oh, you can come in. Like, you're interested. You want to do this. You want to do it. You want to do it. You want to do it. The door's open. You see that with so many people who are successful. They got started by knocking on doors of people who they thought they could learn from. And the people who are higher up in their career or what have you, the people that they're emulating are like, come on in, because they can tell the person's serious. I remember when I lived at a Zen center when I was like, 21, 22 years old, I didn't have much money, and like the room and board was very inexpensive, And after a few months living there, like, I told, one of the teachers, the Zen master, his wife who ran a lot of the stuff, great lady, I was paying for stuff, and she said, you don't have to pay me anymore. You don't have to pay. You're doing enough stuff. You've been here for a while. And I said, I want to keep paying you. You understand? That's the difference. There's room at the top. People who want to apply stuff and improve their life are willing to commit to change, to taking action, to investing in themselves. They're not just sitting around and watching YouTube videos. It's fine to watch YouTube videos, but these videos should be you should interpret them as a motivator, as something that gets you to take more action, to get you to feel better and better about yourself, to change yourself. And hopefully what this video is doing is showing you that you can do it. You can apply these ideas. This is not about the sensational stories and like being able to manifest $1 million in a year, or, manifest the perfect body if you're 60 pounds more than you want to be right now, and, do that in 3 months, or manifesting the perfect romantic partner within a month or two if you've never had a healthy relationship your whole life. It's about you being able to get those things you want, attract more of those things you want into your life, assume those things are coming and are already here energetically, and seeing them slowly happen in ways that you appreciate. Manifestation success, enjoying this stuff, integrating this stuff, looks nothing like the way it's often spoken about online. And I'm telling you, there is room at the top. You can do it. You think that there's this fucking barrier or whatever, but it's bullshit. It's an illusion. I love working with people who are serious. I'm not a serious guy per se, but when it comes to these ideas, I'm very serious. And I'm just here to tell you that if you're serious, by all means, reach out, talk to me. I'll gladly chat with you, and you can work with me long term or not. But most of you won't even do something like that. You want to stay in the shallow end. To paraphrase Neville, you want to go into the depth, into the deep part of the ocean. I really want you to think about this. I'm always trying to learn from people that I emulate in certain areas. And those people are glad to teach me stuff usually. There's room at the top for you. You can do all this stuff. You can integrate this stuff into your life in a way that works. You just got to do it. And you're smart enough to do it if you're serious about doing it, if you're committed to doing it, to do it. I take such pleasure in making car videos like this for those who are listening. Really listening. Yeah, so I hope that, some of what I said hit for you and that you never have this inferiority complex anymore about comparing yourself to other people making comments and how much success they're having with manifesting. Because I'm here to tell you no one's having fucking success in the way that you think. It's not like that. This is success. This is success. You right there, right now, getting it. That's success. That's as good as it gets. Seriously. I have those moments all the time. I'm just like, man, this is as good as it gets. I was lying with one of my daughters in bed this morning, She had just woken up when we were talking. I was like, this is as good as it gets. You can talk to me about manifesting $10 million or manifesting, perfect health, whatever that is, or ideal relationships in the world with knowing a lot of people or something. I don't give a fuck. Let's do the real work. If you want help, like I said, you know where to find me. Links are in the description. Book links are in the description as well. Below, you also will find links to many of the seminars I've given over the last couple of years on YouTube. Some of those seminars I know you will find helpful if you are serious about applying this stuff. And now, to paraphrase Neville once again, let us go into the silence.